Hello comrades, welcome back to Commander Brito-Ruskie-Ski, and today comrades we're going to be reacting to some real life lore. Now comrades, today we're going to be reacting to why Poland's geography is absolutely shit, comrades. So yes, let's begin watching this shit.
Made possible by Curiosity Stream. When you
Comrades,
sign up with
I do
the
not
link
care
in
about
the
this
description,
sponsorship.
you'll also get
We're gonna
Poland's
quickly.
geography doesn't help very much in keeping her safe. Just take a look
It's
at
true,
this world map and think.
Comrades, it's true. Poland's geography might be one of the shittest on the whole planet, comrades. It's flat, not many mountains apart from the south, comrades, but from the south is where all the pussy holes are, so it's no use.
To yourself, where would the worst possible spawn points for my civilization be at? Sure, there's plenty of pretty awful locations, but one of the absolute worst is this general area in Europe, and it's terrible.
Sadly, it's true. However, I am not from there. I am from more of the south area, from Kraków, comrades, so
For
it's
a
fine.
very long list of reasons. It's flat in every direction and has no natural protection against outside attackers save for the Baltic in the north or the Carpathian Mountains in the south. But it also has very
Yes,
limited
that's all the
natural
way in the
resources.
south there.
Its only access to the sea is in the Baltic, which means that in order to break out into the global ocean, you have to pass through these narrow straits, which
Yes, comrades, which are controlled by Denmark. Now, comrades, however, they are part of the European Union, so Poland has a pretty good
presents two
relations with
additional
Denmark.
problems. A, you're at the mercy of whoever is controlling them for trade flowing in and out. And B, all it takes to blockade you is a few ships blocking the way here. Further,
It's true.
all of the surrounding lands give civilizations starting there better opportunities for expansion. Any civilization to the east can expand way far out into the sparsely populated lands of Asia, while
It's true, comrades,
civilizations to the
Russia
west
did.
and the south will have an easier time getting access to better ocean trade routes in the North Sea or the Mediterranean. Any civilization that started here would have a difficult history, and it just
Yes, comrades, so we are probably in the worst position in the whole world.
so
Wow.
happens that the civilization
whole
that
world.
did was Poland. So, Poland's greatest geographic challenges to overcome have always been establishing a base on the coast and balancing the area's poorly defensible flat terrain against outside attacks from strong powers in every direction. Swedes and Danes in the
To be honest, though, comrades, Poland actually did pretty well for its first couple, for its first couple times being alive. I mean, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was massive, comrades.
north, Russians in
So
the
you do have
east,
to appreciate
Ottomans
that
in the
shit.
south, and Germans in the west. The consequences of Poland's geography have led to the modern-day state of Poland being a mere shadow of what it used to be. For a time,
It's true.
Poland was ranked among one of the global great powers, and occupied a truly massive amount of land that stretched from the Baltic to the Black Sea, and included all
I
of
didn't know we
modern-day
bordered the Black
Lithuania,
Sea.
Latvia, Belarus, and most of Ukraine, with a good chunk of Russia too that for a time even included Moscow. But neither the Baltic
Comrades, I can't believe actually Poland took Moscow. Germany and France both couldn't do that shit,
nor
so...
the Black are great seas to have access to. We already discussed the problems with the Baltic, but the Black Sea has a very similar problem too.
Yes,
In order to break
Istanbul.
out into the Mediterranean and the world ocean from there, you
Yes, comrades, Istanbul, very bullshit. Let's not even... Oh, comrades, it's... Oh...
have to pass through
Turkey
this
is quite a
extremely
bullshit
narrow
country.
strait here, which at the time of Poland's Black Sea access was controlled by the Ottomans, who were almost always a hostile state to Poland. So sea access was always hard for Poland, and consequently, Poland never became a historically significant naval power. And over time, the weak physical geography of Poland led to almost constant attacks from strong outside powers
Austria,
who
Russia,
combined their
Germany.
forces to overwhelm Poland and her weak natural defenses. At various times, the Swedes, Russians, and Ottomans all took their turns invading and seizing land.
But the Ottomans were pussy holes. It was actually Poland that managed to chase them out of all of Europe. So, comrades, you're
Before
a
the
pussy holes.
disastrous year of 1772, when the armies of Russia, Prussia, and Austria all joined forces to attack Poland from every direction. Poland struggled to defend herself
Well,
against
comrade, it doesn't even matter about borders, comrade, at that point. Like, imagine if Germany, Italy, and Spain all invaded France at once. Comrades, it would not end well. So it doesn't really matter
superior
about that
enemy
shit,
numbers
comrades.
who attacked from 3 different fronts across mostly flat and hard to defend terrain. And so, Poland lost, and 1/3 of her land and her population was annexed by the conquerors. Over 20 years later, and still crippled from the last war, Poland was invaded and attacked again from the west and the east by Prussia and Russia, and
Germany and Russia just love splitting Poland.
lost even more land. And smelling the blood of a dying corpse with easy-to-take food, Russia, Prussia, Russia and Austria joined forces again and took over the rest of Poland in 1795, dividing the remaining land between themselves.
That's so sad.
Poland's geography
But
was
I mean,
simply
it's also good. Russia became quite big.
run without much to stop or slow down the attackers, and Poland itself ceased to exist as an independent entity for the next 124 years. Poland only regained her full sovereignty from the conquerors in 1919 in the chaotic aftermath of all three conquering empires collapsing after World War I, and she immediately found herself in a new war with the Soviet Union. The
The USSR is good.
wanted to use the flat land of Poland as a bridge to export the communist revolution to Germany, while the new Polish government wanted to reclaim the lost Polish lands from the 18th century partitions. It kind of went both ways before both sides just agreed to a ceasefire in 1920, which largely established the first iteration of Poland in the 20th century. But this Poland's geographic position was severely flawed. She had only this tiny strip of land to connect to the sea that was flanked on both sides by territory belonging to Germany. She shared
By the way, why the fuck did Germany on Eastern Prussia? That is so bullshit. What's the
long
point?
land borders across hard-to-defend terrain with both Germany and Russia, who had both invaded and conquered Poland together before and would soon do it once again. After the Nazis took power in Germany and annexed Austria, the Sudetenland, and then occupied the rest of Czechoslovakia, Poland's geographic position became even more tenuous. When the Germans invaded Poland in 1939, after only 19 years of peace in Poland, they could do so from three different directions. The west from mainland Germany, the south from occupied Czechoslovakia, and the northeast from German East Prussia. And they could quickly
And then the
cut off
Russians
Poland's
could come
tiny
in from
access to
anywhere
the
they
sea from
wanted,
the two
comrades.
flanks. Poland bravely managed to hang on for a while, until the Soviet Union also invaded from the east, and Poland found herself fighting enemies on all sides across hard-to-defend terrain, like a
Comrades, but okay, one flaw I have with this video, comrades, I don't think the geography matters a lot, really, when it comes to situations like this. Because when you think about, imagine if France, I know I said this, imagine if France, comrades, was attacked by Britain from the north, Germany from the east, Italy from the southeast, and then Spain from the south. France would lose. So, comrades, I think it's, I don't know, I think it's a bit
repeat
bullshit.
of the 18th century. Poland was conquered and occupied by the Germans
no
and
shit, Poland
Russians
lost.
again for another 6 years, before
Brest.
Poland was finally re-established as effectively a satellite puppet state of the Soviet
dude,
Union
look how
in
massive USSR
1947.
was.
Poland didn't recover true self-rule or sovereignty that was separated from the Soviet Union again until 1990, after another 51 years of effective occupation.
It is
In
a bit
short,
sad how little freedom
out
Poland
of the
has,
past
but Soviets have to
225
do what
years of
Soviets have
history,
to do.
Poland has been occupied or ruled by a foreign power in some fashion for 175 of those years, or 77% of the time. The aftermath of the Second World War and the Soviet occupation gave Poland a new geographic reality, however, that's maybe only marginally better than what it used to be before. After the war, a significant portion of eastern Poland was annexed directly into the Soviet
migration.
Union, and the ethnic Polish residents were expelled. In compensation for this, Poland was given all of these formerly German lands that the Soviets had conquered and forced them to give up. The ethnic German populations here were expelled, and most of the expelled Polish population from the east ended up coming and resettling in these new lands.
Yes,
Because of
comrade, I
this,
remember unification of Germany. Germany wanted these lands back. No! Much if Germany
the
got their
modern
land back.
Polish
Bullshit.
state has achieved a significant coastline on the Baltic with 2 natural harbors in the cities of Gdańsk and Szczecin. And after
Comrades, I know he's American and he obviously can't pronounce foreign words, but Gdańsk. Comrades, it's Gdańsk. And then it's Szczecin. Comrades, get it right, please.
the collapse
Come on,
of the Eastern
comrades,
Bloc
come
and
on.
communism after 1989, Poland has sought to distance herself from Russia and integrate further with the West.
Still
The new
borders
reality
Russia,
meant that
though.
Poland only shares a tiny border with her former occupier Russia here in the Kaliningrad enclave, which is separated from the rest of
I was
Russia
just
by
checking
the
if I'm
now
still
independent
recording.
Baltic states and Belarus. But Poland's geography is still mostly flat and difficult to defend, save for a portion of the Carpathian mountain range in the south. And
Yes, but but Slovakia's not gonna do shit.
Joined NATO in 1990 and joined the European Union in 2004, effectively securing her geography with friendly states in almost every direction, save for potentially the east. Arguably,
Let's be honest though, comrades, what Ukraine gonna do? Nothing.
for the first time since 1772, Poland's geographic position and independence became relatively secure and safe again after centuries of uncertainty in 1999 when she joined the NATO alliance.
Yep.
But recent events in the east, like what's been happening in Crimea between Ukraine and Russia, has
Yes,
made
but
Poland
Russia's not gonna do shit.
weary.
Comrades, I'm sorry. Comrades, I support Russia, comrades, but Russia's not gonna do shit to Poland. Comrades, we first have to get through Ukraine and Belarus, maybe the Baltic states, comrades, the rest of Ukraine. Poland is not at the beginning of the Russian radar, comrades.
and uneasy from her history. Poland joined the defense network of NATO to secure stronger allies that could compensate for her indefensible terrain, and she joined the European Union to help further those aims. Any attack by Russia or by anybody else on Poland would be considered an attack on every other NATO and EU member state,
Yes,
which
comrades,
would be
NATO's a
almost
bit bullshit.
suicidal for anybody to attempt. After centuries of struggling to simply exist, Poland may have finally discovered the secret to staying alive when your country's geography is terrible. Have a lot of strong friends. After all,
Comrades, you got to be
Poland
good
is
friends.
not yet lost.
Oh,
Geography,
I do
however,
like that, comrades. Obviously, if you know the Polish anthem, first line is about Poland's not yet lost. Okay, I like that, comrades. I like that. That's good shit.
is just one of many aspects about our planet that influences one civilization's success and another one's hardships. I could
So yes, comrades, that from watching that shit, it really shows about Poland's geography. However, I think a lot of the points in the video were a bit shit. Obviously, comrades, if you have two superpowers attacking you, comrades, your geography does not fucking matter, comrades. You are fucked. If Mongolia had the best geography in the world, but Russia and China both invaded it, it would be fucked, comrades. So yes, I think a bit of the message in the video is a bit shit, but I do agree that Poland's geography is not good. But anyway, comrades, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, we are so close to 400. And comrades, anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure that communism strike again.